It's about the right reaction I was waiting for. Okay. If you are here today, you were invited because later we're going to have a baby dedication. How good is that? As we're celebrating. And it's always bad, someone invited you to church today to come and join in the baby dedication, and now they're preaching about money at church. I'm so sorry. It wasn't our planning. I promise you that. But the big thing is that we don't want to just speak about money. We want to speak about a little bit of a depth to this. And so when we thought about this series called Insufficient Funds, you've had that moment, haven't you? I can see the nods. If you ever went to a till and you swiped and it didn't say declined, you're not even a human. Okay. Everyone has gone through this moment. Remember those moments that you get to the till? So as you walk to the front, you're like, please, plastic, yes, please, everything, all good. And then they ask you for your smart shopper or your extra savings or whatever it is. And then you swipe at everything and you get there and you're like, I'm just going to tap because it's cool. If you were like me this week, it actually happened. I thought, now I'm going to use my watch because I got it on, my card on my watch or on my phone. And then both were flat. And I was standing there. Yeah, literally I had to go home and get my old school card, It was a bit awkward for me, shame. But this moment that you tap and then what does it say? Declined. And then what's the famous words after that? No, try again. They can't be. Try again. And then they try again, and then, now I swear there's money in my account. Really, there has to be. It can't. I transferred money yesterday, And then you go on your app, and then you see where your money went. Debit orders. You know debit orders. Yeah, from the devil, straight from him, most probably. But then you realize your debit orders have kind of gone off and this. And so what do? You start, okay, we don't really need that extra bottle of Coke, and we don't really. So you maybe put some stuff back, and then you check the amount, and then you swipe, and you go through. And after you've paid everything, you don't make eye contact with the people in the row behind you. You don't even say sorry. You just don't look at them like they don't exist, right? And this is that moment that we all have, and we think to ourselves, when we live life, when we do life, there's always this little bit of a pressure of money. Let's be honest in the room. Who has a little bit of pressure of money? If you don't put up your hand, you're a student. You don't know what pressure is yet. You just wait and see. But money is such a loaded word, actually. When we speak about money, sometimes when you speak about money, it becomes very personal, right? If I'd ask you, can we put your bank statement on the screen? You see the feeling in the room. It immediately becomes bad. But just quick reality check in South Africa right now. Just some stats around money, all right? First of all, we're in economic uncertainty at the moment. Let's be honest. Stuff's just getting more expensive and salaries are not growing with it. And there's a whole uncertainty. But did you know this? That the average family in South Africa, 62% of their income goes to debt. More than half of their income goes to pay off debt. Listen to this. The average family in South Africa spends about 130 to 170% of their income. So they're spending 70% more than they earn. You feel it in the room, right? There's no emergency plan because we're so in debt we need to pay that off. And there's higher interest rates. Anyone owning homes? Higher prices. And so what do? We start managing everything so strictly. We try and cut down and we cut down and we end up lying awake at night thinking about money, dreaming about what it would be if we just had enough money, worrying, living our lives filtered around this thing of money. It kind of takes over our entire life, money. And so we lie awake and thinking about it. And here's the reality. When we speak about Christianity, when we speak about Christ, when we speak about how God invites us to look at money, how does He invite us into the story to say, when you're in a difficult space with money, this is how I want you to look at it. He actually invites us to say, look at the life from His perspective. His perspective meaning what? That He is the Lord of my life. That these things that are keeping me awake at night, they're the things that actually should be keeping Jesus awake at night. Because He's the Lord. I should give it to Him. I should lay it to Him. I should bow, submit. Yes, Lord. Sorry, my voice just broke. Puberty. should bow my life to Him. I should worship Him. Align everything I am to Him. And we do it so easy in church, right? We do the moment of like my sin, God, I give it to you. Like my difficult situation, God, I give it to you. And then like sometimes my family, it's a difficult one. God, I give it to you. My finances, Lord, I give it to you, but I'm going to make a plan for this. And I believe God's looking at you saying, look at it from my perspective. Either I'm Lord of all or I'm not Lord at all. I want to be Lord of everything in your life. You see, this godly way of actually looking at it, the way that God looks at it is to realize this, that everything comes from God, that He becomes our provider. I remember just a fun story out of myself and Danelle's life, but I remember this conversation just when I was dating Danelle, and I was thinking, okay, I want to get married to her. Anyone in that life stage a little bit now? Or know of someone? There we go. And we're dating her, and I'm having this conversation like about, Lord, I want to marry this girl. I'm serious about this, but your finances, it's tough. Like, I don't know, the ring's going to be expensive, and then don't talk about a wedding. And then, if you're in different cultures, then we can put labola on the table. It's just more and more and more and more. And I remember having a conversation with Anel, actually. I remember it like yesterday, and she said to me, Brent, just stop right there. Who provides for you? And I was like, well, church answer, God. And she says, okay, who provides for Danelle? And I'm like, God. She says, now, why would He stop providing if you two come together? As a matter of fact, I think there'll be more blessing than ever before. Because He blesses covenant, He blesses promise. And I realized in that moment that, it's not my responsibility to look after my family. It is actually God's. And I can lean into Him and press into Him. Does it mean I'm going to sit at home and do nothing? No, please don't do that. But does it mean I'm going to lie awake at night worried about my finances? I'm definitely not doing that. Because it's not my weight to carry. And that is good stewardship. It's actually saying, God, this is yours. What do we do with it? My life, my finances, it's yours. What do I do with it? You see, money is not evil. If you've ever thought that money is evil, I want to tell you this. It's not evil. It's just when it becomes the Lord of your life that it becomes evil. You see, money is actually a beautiful instrument of worship. There's a reason why Aiden, before worship, said that this is a part of worship. This envelope we have here, it's a part of worship. Why? Because we can actually take this tool of money and worship God with it. Money is actually there to enjoy. Did you know that? You mustn't feel bad if you have money. Please don't feel bad. You can enjoy it. God gave it there for your enjoyment, but not to be your king, to be the thing you run towards. You see, money becomes this channel of blessing, using your money to actually bless people. You see, it becomes a tool, but sometimes it becomes the king of our lives. So 1 Timothy 6, you can, if you have your Bible there, we can go to it. And we're going to just be reading out of this little passage. And it's just such a good moment where it's addressed in 1 Timothy to the church. Just explaining this picture. Let me just do that. This picture of riches. This whole picture of riches. And so it says this, 1 Timothy 6:9. Those who want to get rich. Who wants to get rich? It's not bad to try and get rich, guys. I'm just saying. But he says, those who want to get rich, what happens mostly to those people is that they what? They fall into the temptation and a trap and into many foolish, harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. Brent, I have money in the bank. Are you telling me? No. What I'm saying is if you have this pursuit of getting rich, sometimes you can choose to fall into temptation, to fall into a trap, to fall into foolish and harmful desires. I'll explain a little bit later. And then he says, for the what of money? The love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. You see, we misquote this so many times. We always say, for money is the root of all evil. No, the love of money. You see, money is not bad. But the thing is, when money becomes the thing I love, it starts like kind of birthing evil in my life. And then it says, some people, eager for money, have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. See, here, this moment, it's explaining this, is that when we think about money, when we talk about money, when we engage with money, what is your relationship with money? You have a relationship with money. Is it your king? Is it someone you love that you can't do without? Or is it a relationship of understanding that you are actually subduing to my God? Just as I am under God, my money is also under God. I trust Him that He is my king and He'll show me how to live my life. And so, what are we up against when we speak about money? 3 things I want to say to you this morning. That was just the intro. You guys ready? 3 things I want to say to you this morning. I want to ask, what are we up against? When we think about money and this fight between kind of like this love for money and a love for God, what are we up against? Well, first thing is we're up against the love of money. You see, the word love doesn't fit into the word money. It doesn't fit to one another. Why? Because there's this kind of love that we read about in the Bible called philios love. And what is that? It's a love for your brother. It's not a love for a coin or a note or what you can put in the bank. It's a love for one another. And God invites us into the story to say, man, this money, you can actually show your love for me when you bless people around you. You see, love of money gives us a lot of promises, but unfortunately, they're quite empty. You see, when we love money, we think that more money offers more security. It offers more fullness of life. It offers those kind of things. And just putting down some examples would be, this providing financial security. If I just had more money, financial security for my future. If I had more money, I could be more happy. I can go play pickleball every day. My kids can, drive the new whatever motorcycle, bicycle. I don't know what kids ride anymore. Hoverboards. I'll feel financially free, credit cards paid off. As a matter of fact, it's in the green. I'll give control. And the problem is the moment you do that, you start giving control of your life to money. The problems in my life, the people in my life, I can almost control them with money. I'll have less stress at night because I have too much money. I don't have to stress about anything. I get this sign, this picture of that, I'm a picture of success. I have money. Have you seen my car? Have you seen this? Have you seen that? He said, people respect me and accept me because of money. I ensure my health with money. I see the best doctors. I see the best whatever. I ensure my comfort with money. I have inner peace because my bank statement's green. See, the problem with that is that the love of money, it starts doing that. It starts saying to you, I am your comfort. I am your peace. I am the one that'll help you. I am the one that'll provide for you. But as we know, money is fleeting, correct? Everything changes in an instant. An economy can change overnight. It is not built on something more solid. But you're saying to me, Brent, the love of money can't be that bad. I mean, having things and all that stuff, it can't be that bad. Well, I've got a little example. I'm going to ask one or two just to help me. But the first thing is this, if someone can hand this. Sorry, thanks. Can we give them a hand? It's mooi, dankie. But first thing you think about is a bigger house, right? Bigger house, because then you've got more space. Anyone want a bigger house? Remember, when you get a bigger house, bigger electricity bill, bigger water bill, all right? Bigger levies, tax and rates. Okay, cool. So now I've got my bigger house. Life's lekker. Then I just want a bigger car. Okay, bigger than this. Let's try and fit the car in the garage, And so we've got a bigger car. It's already getting uncomfortable. A bigger house. But remember, bigger car, bigger payments, expensive tires. It's okay. Bigger stands, everything, services are more expensive. Then, I have to work hard to pay off this car, to pay off this house, and now I need coffee. I'm working late till night, so what do you need? An espresso machine? Okay. Now, your coffee, yay. And now I just need more hobbies, because, everything's so difficult. So a round of golf with the friends, new driver, here we go. And then what do I need? Just a fishing weekend. Just a little bit of fishing, because that'll be lekker. And then new shoes, because, I have to fit in with the crowd. I can't just go with my old, Crocs. I have to. And then a helmet, because motorbikes are lekker. Yeah, druk. Okay, a little bit up. Okay, I'm good. Hobbies, lekker. And then, I've just been working so hard. I need to take a trip overseas. Like, that's just exactly, I don't just put it down there for me. It's exactly what I need right now. And then, the next thing is, I need to get away. So I'm going to start playing guitar. I don't know where. Just, there we go. Guitar. And then, it's just a rough day. So just something sweet. For me, maybe something better. I don't know. And this is your life. Yay! Help. Thank you. There we go. Want to buckle my shoe? Yeah, yes, like it. Easter bunny. So this is what your life looks like. And do you know what the crazy thing is? Is it becomes a balance where you try and handle everything. People say more money, less problems. No. More money, more problems. I have more things I have to worry about, so many different things. I'm juggling life. Who wants a chocolate? There we go. I'm juggling life. I'm juggling life constantly because of this. But why the love of money? Because the love of money is you start accumulating, you start living, and your life gets built on this kind of mountain of what you can bring to the table. But then your life starts changing because now you have new friends. Not your friends that were okay with like playing tennis at a broken tennis court somewhere for fun. But friends that say, no, we need to go, we need to go play golf at Pinnacle Point. And so you start changing your friends because of this new life. You look at your wife and you might realize, you're not keeping up with my pace of life anymore. I need someone new, a younger model. We start chasing desire. Maybe, I need more business. I need more cars. I want more houses. I want more everything. And at the end of the day, what usually happens, and I know this, is you're sitting in a mansion and you're alone. And where did it start? The love of money. You see, the love of money can so lead us to a bad point. Why am I saying this? Is this: money should be a means to an end, not the end in itself. Money is a tool that God gives us to actually be a blessing. You see, when money starts sustaining your life, when money becomes the purpose of life, it'll become the God of your life. And this morning, I want to give you the invitation saying, where does your love lie? Does it lie with God, or does it lie in you sitting here worrying about your new bucky, or your new house, or your new car, or your new sport, or your new whatever you want to be doing? Or is there contentment in your heart? And we're going to speak a bit more about contentment next week. And so second thing is this: not just love of money, but that what does it lead to? It leads to the root of all evil. You see, if you think about love of money, you say, Brent, how can it lead to the root of all evil? It's because it starts changing a lot of who you are. You see, do you know that all origin comes from this picture? Romans 12:23 says, everything that does not come from faith is sin. Now, whoa, Brent, isn't sin like the apple, the tree, the 10 commandments? Isn't that sin? No, actually, when we speak about sin, New Testament understanding is this: everything that doesn't come from faith is sin. Now, what are you saying? I'm asking this question. When you love money, you put your faith in money. You put your faith in the promises of money. And the problem with that is actual unbelief. But the moment I take my life and I say, I trust in God, I trust in His promises, I put my faith in Him, that's where the shift happens. You see, we can so easily have this love of money that our beliefs almost change because of money. Our beliefs change because of a green tick on our bank statement. You see, sin enters our lives in a very sly way. Money is one of those things we don't speak openly about it sometimes, but it's not like one of those sins where like you go to someone and you say, I need help with my money. What's the first thing you do when you're in financial trouble? You hide your bank statement from your spouse. You start making plans. You're asking, what can we sell? You start figuring it out. because you're ashamed of this thing. And why? Because your faith lies still within money. What if you make the switch this morning just to say, God, my faith lies in you. In you. I can trust you with everything that I am. And this is what it does. It starts affecting everything that we are. That scripture we read earlier that said this. You start falling into temptation. You fall into this traps. It leads to foolishness and harmful desires. I mean, did you see what I looked like? Foolishness. Harmful. I can't do anything with my life because I'm so strained with this picture of money. And 1 Timothy 6, a little bit later in that piece of scripture, as I love this because it just explains so much. It says, command those who are rich in the present world not to be arrogant. We can so easily put this at the center of our lives. But he says what? To put their hope, not to put their hope in wealth. How many of us put our hope in our savings, our pension fund? And he says this, no, which is uncertain, just by the way. But then he says, but put their hope in God, who richly provides us everything for our enjoyment. See, he provides the things for us to enjoy. But he's saying, guys, you have two choices. It's very simple. He says you can put your hope in money. Do it. Money will come, money will go. Money will last, money won't last. There'll be a whole conversation about that with God. But it's saying you can put your faith in that, or you can put your hope in God. Lean into Him, the one that owns everything. And there's two quick things that happens to us when we lose this perspective, when we put our hope in Christ. First of all, we lose perspective on who we are, who you are. You see, in the gospel explains this, is that you are not saved by your works, but you are saved with the free gift of the gospel. God gave you a gift of life that you can live it fully. He looked at you and said, I see the price over your life. I see the judgment and the payment that has to be made, but I cover the bill. Because I want to be close to you. I want to have closeness with you. I want to be in relationship with you. But even the way we think about money is different. We say, God, God blesses those who help themselves, No. God blesses those who can't help themselves. God blesses regardless, because why? God is the God of blessing. And He says to you, guys, don't try and work to pay off the things. Don't try and make plans, because you're maybe missing it. Maybe you need to start with trusting me. Then we're going to work. Then we're going to do things. But you do it from a different perspective. You see, money can so become our identity. It becomes who we are. I am successful. I'm wealthy. I am self-assured. We can easily run to this place of a superiority complex. Have you seen their card? Luckily, we're not like them. So, man, I've visited a few people in our church the past few weeks, and just stepping into homes, and I think there's a family that blessed us this past week, and just stepping into their home, not perfect, not open plan with a kitchen island, give the dreams, that double garage, filled with 2 cars and an afdak, because you had to build an afdak for the motorbikes. It's not this extravagant life, but when I look at them, they're happy, they're fulfilled, they're content, because they're not trying to be something they're not. God has blessed them to a point where they can live life fully, and that's the invitation. Don't forget who you are. And it's so easy in times of difficult spaces that we forget what we have, right? Just quickly, just think about what you have for a moment. Because our conversation, when money becomes the king of our lives, the conversation always ends up with, so I wish I had. Have you seen him? I wish that, our car's got 200,000 kilometers on. I wish we just had that one with 20,000 on. That would just be great. That's what we need. And we always measure ourselves. And what does it do? We do that thing where we kind of keep up with the Joneses. We constantly seek what other people have, and it's this greed, this envy that grows within us, and it literally changes who we are. And the only way to kind of beat that is to be grateful. God, thank you for my car with 200,000 kilos on the clock. May it please last to 400,000. God, thank you for my financial difficulty, because I know you're going to step into it. Thank you for providing for my kids so we can go to school. You see, it's gratefulness that kind of breaks that in the picture. So how do we kind of think about money? How should we take this step forward? How do we kind of start living this new life? How do we move forward? Well, remember the card swiping moment. Tapping your card, that insufficient fund, that moment that you realize you've run out. Maybe you've sat around, the dinner table with your wife or with your husband, and you've had the conversation of like, Lief, we're in trouble. We need to start making plans. I want to invite you into myself and Danelle's house for a moment. You see, we've in our lives come to many full stops or kind of, blockades in our lives when it comes to wealth or money. And we sit there like, okay, we need to pay some studies. We need to pay this thing off. And we need to get that for this business. We need to make sure we can pay this. And we start sitting there and we go, okay, we're not going to have enough. So what do? You use the big words, making plans. I think to myself, now I'll make a plan. I can sell that. We can move that money around. We can try this. I can beg for a raise. I can make a plan. And usually in that moment, what happens is that's what that Timothy 1 Timothy 6 speaks about. It says, I put my hope in wealth. I'm making a plan with money so that I can have more money, so that I could be okay, so that I can be free. And it's like every time we have that conversation, I just experience like God going, hello, good day, I'm here too. And it's actually crazy that our biggest challenge is not actually greed of money. Did you know that? Our biggest challenge in money is fear. The fear of not having enough. The fear of realizing I won't be safe without money. And God comes and He invites us into the story. He invited me and Danelle into the story many times, saying, guys, fear is not the king of your life. The fear of money is not what will rule your life. It's almost the fear of God. Trusting God, putting my life in God, that is what can rule your life. And I remember this, like every time we sit there and we go, I'm going to make a plan. And God just keeps reminding us, He says, if you're going to make the plan, then you become the provider, Brent. So what do we do in times that we are difficult? And we learned this from Donnie and friends around us, is when we're in a difficult season, when we start having this fear of money over our lives, we start sowing. You sow your way out of a difficult season. We're saying, God, we're in a difficult space, but what do we have? We're going to give. And time after time, God steps in. And it's not about the amount of money. It's not about that. It's about that moment you realize, God, you weren't joking when you said you're my provider. You weren't lying when you said, I can trust you. And this morning, it's kind of the shift we want to make in our hearts, is saying, who do you trust? So I'm going to ask the band to join us, because I want us to kind of answer this question, is where does your hope lie? Because we can build a life with many beautiful things. We can build a mansion. We can build our lives on so many good things. And again, money is not evil. It's a good thing. But when it becomes the person you put your hope in, it steps into a place that's unfair. And the thing that leads us there, that we have to start trusting money, is fear. We're scared. We're scared that we won't have enough. We're scared that there won't be enough. And today God is saying, hey, in me there's no fear. In me there's life. So I want us to stand for a moment. You see, money can lead to so many things. How can we test that our fear lies with God, or our fear lies with money, our hope lies in God, or it lies in money? Well, maybe in your decision making you say things, we can't go because money. Or maybe your decision making say, we won't go because God. I can't give because I don't have enough money. Or, if God's the king of life, it would be something like, I won't stop being generous because of God. I can't, go with my family on this weekend because I need to work, or that I need to spend time. I can't spend time with my family that much because money, I need to provide. God says, I won't let you compromise on your family. I won't let you give up the thing I've blessed you with, because I am God. You see, I can't tithe because, I paid everything and we only got that little bit less to live off of. God says, if you believe in God, it's like, I won't negotiate my tithe. I won't negotiate it at all, because it's the one I put my faith in. This 1 Timothy just hits my heart so many times. He says, do not be angry, nor put your hope in wealth, for it is so uncertain. But put your hope in God, who richly provides. Not just a new car, whatever, that's not the conversation. It richly provides for you. Knowing that whatever I am, whether I have a lot, whether I have a little, wherever I am in life, my hope lies in Him. You see, this conversation, how do we respond to this? Well, I don't think there's a practical step. I don't think there's an envelope or a debit order or something like that. That's not the conversation this morning. There's no practical step to respond to this. There's only a relational conversation. Saying, God, maybe for a long time I've been trusting my money. I've been trusting my safety is in my bank account. And today I'm saying I can't lie awake at night in this fear anymore of, will I have enough? Will we have enough? Will I be enough? My identity has been built around what people think of me, in what I wear, in what I drive, in what I live. And tonight, or this morning, I'm saying, I don't want that. I want you. I want fullness with you. It's a relational change. It's putting God in His rightful place, in the center of my life, saying, God, I trust you. And so we're going to sing this song, and I want to create space for you to say, God, I don't want to fear money anymore. I don't want to lie awake at night. I want to lie awake dreaming about what you're dreaming about. I want to lie awake at night thinking about you and my relationship with you and my family and a fullness of life that I could live. I want to put my trust in you. I'm going to pray and then we're going to respond. Jesus, thank you this morning that we can put our faith and our trust in you. And I pray that as we worship, Lord, will you come and speak to every individual and shift our lives and our hearts to this thing, that money is not our king. Money is not the one we love. We love you. And therefore, we will never have fear. Never have fear. We thank you, Jesus. Let's respond to Jesus.